hell is going on? DWD podcast. I am Rick Del Santo. Joining me this week, the DVD freak, and we got some two nerds here that we haven't seen in quite some time. The one and only JJ Fins, and who is that guy? It's been quite some time since we've seen Danny Bryant here on the show, and he is returning tonight. What the hell is going on?
It's got to be the beard, but what's up? Glad to be back.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You look different.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anyways, Freak, what's going on with yourself?
It's been a while since I've been on. I don't know. When's the last time we filmed?
I think you're the last, well, not the last one I filmed with out of this group. I think I filmed with you somewhat recently. Somewhat.
Yeah,
I'm not, honestly, I have no fucking clue. Everything just mingles together these days as I'm trying to keep going and moving. Before we get going, we got something I want to discuss, but I did appear on a podcast. I want to try to get somebody, give it a plug. The Dennis Show. Dennis is quite the young guy. I shouldn't say that. He's the same age as me, but he talks a lot about beer, wrestling, pizza, and other assorted foods. And that's pretty much the premise of the show, and I highly recommend everybody checking it out. It was a lot of fun, so go over there, the Dennis Show. And I have a list here sitting in front of me, which is just a bunch of fucking malarkey, and I'm going to... Some of these, freaking Dan, you might have to help me out with, because I'm not quite sure what the hell is going on here. I printed this out. So mind you, the WWE Network on the Peacocks, or Cox, did a list of the 50 greatest tag teams in WWE history. And I have to say, it was made fun of by the Young Bucks on AEW because of the number one, but we'll get to that when we get number one. I printed this list out. I'm looking at it. Some of these people, as tag teams, I don't ever recall wrestling for the WWE, WWF, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So, what did you guys think? Did you guys hear about this list at all?
I've seen like a top 5. I mean, some of the names I don't really stand by as agreeable, but obviously everybody's biased to their own opinion, especially nowadays. I mean, but we already know how we deal with that type of stuff. So, I don't know. I'm kind of baffled.
I think we really have to ask this question though. Is it in WWE history or wrestling history? Like, what list is this?
The list here says the full list of the 50 greatest WWE tag teams.
So it's only company history then.
But you know, WWE has this thing for merging the histories, seeing the lineage, I should say, because it absorbed WCW and other such companies. You know what I mean? So I kind of, get that a little bit. They also seem to merge the lineage of title histories as well. So
basically everybody that WWE's bought out.
Pretty much. JJ, what's your opinion? We haven't heard from you yet.
I found out about this list this morning. I saw who the number one was. It was New Day. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? And then that's when I heard about the Bucks making fun of. Yeah. I was like, wow, that's a joke. That's a joke.
When WWE does these lists, in the top 5 or 10, they tend to really push the guys that are on the current roster. You know what I mean? So you're never going to get your number one as being, say, a Hulk Hogan or a Ric Flair, but you're going to get I don't even know who the fuck, Randy Orton, somebody to that effect.
Well, Michael Cole actually started promoting John Cena as the greatest of all time in the last few years.
Hey everyone, you want to listen to the best in pro wrestling talk? Tune in to the Top Rope Report podcast with Mr. Trivia and the Nugster Greg every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on TalkShoe.com, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast. Join us as we discuss WWE, NXT, PAPW Independent Wrestling, and a whole lot more. It's the Top Rope Report, the best in pro wrestling talk.
All right. So, should we get with it?
Yeah. I want to hear who is on this list. I'm pretty sure.
Now, I didn't watch the Peacock special, so I'm not entirely sure. I may go back and watch it because number 50 is the Bushwhackers. Before you guys say anything, are they including just the Bushwhackers as the WWF history for the 3 or 4 years that they were in there? Or are they including the entire sheep herders career as well?
You know what?
I'm most
that's
likely
the
going
thing
to
about-
say no.
Well, I was going to say that's the thing about the Bushwhackers. I don't really think anybody knows about the Bushwhackers' past history. I mean, a lot of younger fans. I mean, there's some of us, like ourselves, who are probably very relevant and aware of the Bushwhackers before they, came to the WWF. But I think everybody's just looking at the Bushwhackers as like an entertainment value, as of why they're on that list.
They did absolutely nothing in the WWF as far as like title history. They never had a title. They never, they were a comedy act. And to my knowledge, for about 2 years, they competed on pay-per-views. And then after that, they were sparsely seen. So,
Hey,
They were
they were
used
over.
tickets.
what's that, Freak?
They were over.
Yeah. The kids loved them. I was a kid growing up at that age, at that time.
Well,
I
I
love
want to be licked.
It's amazing.
It depends on how you say that.
They were licking kids' heads. Can't do that.
Number 49. I like these two guys as a tag team. They're a comedy act. The next 49. Too Cool. Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty Too Hottie. Let's be serious.
About Too Cool, it's funny that you brought up that team because it's like I was watching a video yesterday and it was like a little snippet off of Jim Cornette's podcast, and he was practically just saying how Scotty was just involved with that team just for the love of wrestling, and he always thought that Brian Christopher was the better wrestler. But putting those two guys together, they definitely brought some type of value during the height of the Attitude Era. But obviously, Christopher had his demons, and Scott was just, a part of the business. Even way before he was caught up to the main roster, he was practically, like a talent recruit and, a jobber like the past 7 years before finally getting, that official run with Brian. So, I mean, if anything, I hate to say this. I mean, no offense to Scotty Too Hottie. I mean, he's a phenomenal talent, but he definitely owes his career to Brian Christopher.
Yeah, that's fair.
They were over. I mean,
48. I love this tag team. I think they should be further down the road. The Quebecers, Jacques and Pierre. I thought these guys were great. They've held the tag team titles a couple times. Thought they were a really great tag team. I really like Carl Ole and Jacques Rougeau. I love the Rougeau brothers. I just think that number 48, are they there just for? Do they want to push some of the other guys down on the lower part of the list? I mean, these guys I thought had a really good run for a couple years that they were a tag team. They gave them the titles, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely memorable, but I mean, you can't really look at the Rougeau brothers without looking up Jock. I mean, obviously he had a more lengthier run, down the line when he later became the Mountie, and then there was the Quebecers when he started teaming up with PCO. But they definitely had a memorable run. Obviously, SummerSlam 1988 or 1989, excuse me. I'm mixing up one of the years, but between them and the Bulldogs,
That was 88. 88.
that was a hell of a match, and I remember reviewing that match for the podcast here. They definitely could have had, a more successful run. I mean, yeah, they've had the titles, but yeah, I don't know. I think that one thing that really got in the way of the Rougeau brothers was the Bulldogs, especially with the backstage conflict between Jack and Dynamite Kid.
They were ready to put the tag team titles on them, but Raymond got hurt, and then he was forced to retire. So
Right,
that's when Jacques came back as a Mountie. Okay. Anybody else? What do you guys think about the Mounties? I mean, the Quebecers. Excuse me.
Okay. I hated them as a kid, so but I agree they should have been more. They deserve a little more recognition than this.
That's what I'm saying.
Stupid list.
I'm going to say the same about the next Freak. I'm sorry. Did you have something to say about the Quebecers?
Nah, go ahead with the next one.
I think that this tag team also deserves better recognition. Billy and Bart, Smoking Guns.
Yeah.
I thought this was a great tag team, and I thought they did really well the time that they were in there.
Yeah, and obviously as time went down the line, the gimmick kind of got stale as the years went on and everything. They were a great tag team, but I mean, if you really look at it, Billy Gunn is tag team specialist. He was a star of this group, let alone the Outbreak. So, but I don't know. And one thing about that is, I feel bad for Bart. I mentioned this on somebody's YouTube channel. I made a comment, but I basically said, if he hadn't won the Brawl for All tournament, Bart probably could have still had a somewhat good wrestling career in WWE. But I mean, obviously, he knocked out Steve Williams, who was supposed to be, the guy to win it all, and he ended up embarrassing him, and then he ended up getting knocked out at WrestleMania 15, which that match was pretty much pointless. So that kind of killed Bart's career.
If you look at Billy Gunn, he was in the New Age Outlaws, which was associated with DX. So WWE likes to recognize that part of his tag team history, not so much the Smoking Guns. And Bart Gunn really just kind of brings a sour taste to a lot of viewers because they're just reminded of the Brawl for All, which was a complete, absolute disaster.
Or the new Midnight Express.
Yeah, like WWE, this is just one of those ones, like, this is the first time I've heard them mention them in so long. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, this one, number 46. This is an interesting team. While I personally thought they were a great tag team, they were only together for a short period. Won the tag titles, lost them a few months later. One of them went out of commission for about a year. Strike Force. What do y'all think about these guys? Yeah, Tito Santana and Rick Martel.
Honestly, I don't know, because
it's a rough one to think about, because it's like they were only together for a short period as a tag team. They won the tag titles, yes, but it doesn't seem like they did much as a tag team. They weren't together that long.
Honestly, I think they only had that tag team together to elevate Rick Martel's career, because they were the first tag team to break up at a WrestleMania.
Really? I know. To me, Strike Force was a cheap, a ripoff of the Panama Connection. Am I right? Because, right, Rick?
Well, they were trying to fill in because Tom Zank left and the Can-Am Connection broke up when Zank left, so they needed a partner for Martel.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
like
it's like a cheap substitute.
yeah,
I still
kind
like
of.
that.
But, and Tito was the seasoned veteran, you know what I mean? So they wanted to bring him in and put him. And I thought they worked well together. I thought they were a great tag team. They even ended up having a great feud together against each other when they broke up after WrestleMania 5. So, all right, this one 45. Now they're recognizing them, another tag team that they're recognizing under a different name rather than the name that they had a great career with prior to WWE. The Head Shrinkers. Previously, the Samoan SWAT team, who were together for quite some time. They wrestled Dallas and the NWA, and several other places. And, then they broke. I think Samu left the NWA, so then Fatu was in there by himself, Rikishi, whatever you want to call him.
But then
They
he
brought him back. They brought him back
with,
together as the Head Shrinkers, and so I don't know. I'm not saying that the Head Shrinkers were bad in WWF. It's just I don't think they really did much, did they? They were only how long were they in there? 3? Yeah, but it's not very memorable, right?
well,
No, I'm actually surprised they even recognize them. Like I was surprised we even brought that name up.
well,
Like this is the first time I'm hearing the list except for number 1. So yeah, I'm surprised they even mentioned them. But I don't know. I think they deserve some recognition.
Yeah.
well,
I'm just surprised.
Yeah.
But
The
as
Head
Samoan
Shrinkers-
SWAT.
The Head Shrinkers were supposed to be brought in as a 3-man tag team. Because you guys got to remember, they brought in Fatu, Samu, and then Yokozuna.
Barbarian. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
And, instead of putting Yokozuna in that group, they ended up, giving him that solo career. And then obviously Samu left and Barbarian came. And then that tag team didn't really last long as Barbarian left for WCW. And then that's when they gave Fatu the kind of like the peace gimmick. Like, the street.
He's wearing the cross colors and stuff like that. All right, the next tag team. What's that, buddy?
1 second. Here's a little piece of news. Chelsea Green just made her debut with Ring of Honor. So there you go.
Oh, okay. I'm not watching the Ring of Honor pay-per-view right now. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. And maybe we can talk about it this week.
Cool.
The next 3 tag teams, I don't get. Okay. You ready for the first one? Number 44. Kane and X-Pac.
What?
Okay. That's what I'm saying. All right. Kane and X-Pac.
Well, first of all, they were good at that time.
We have something to say about this? I was just going to skip to the next one.
I want to say this because, obviously it kind of bothers me because they beat fucking Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett on Monday Night Raw for the tag titles. So that's why I'm kind of pissed off about that. Secondly, Kane's always been that go-to guy when it comes to, unique tag teams. Because if you look at Kane's, history, he's a multi-time world tag team champion. And I think him and X-Pac actually held the tag team titles on 2 occasions. So, I mean, for them as a tag team, it was very entertaining, but it definitely wasn't a good mix at the end. But at the same time, this is the attitude era that we're talking about. Anybody can team up with anybody, and as long as you're on TV, you're going to get over.
Anybody? Okay. This one I can't stand. I'm just, and I don't know how this is considered a tag team. Evolution.
Evolution? That's a stable. That's a faction. Are you kidding me?
What the fuck are we acknowledging? Ric Flair and Batista? That's not a fucking tag team. That's like,
what's wrong with these people?
That's like saying, let me take my grandpa to daycare. Like, what the fuck is that?
NBC.
Oh my god.
What's
all right? What's next? JJ really wants to know. You ready?
Yeah, I really want to.
Eminem.
Okay.
Well,
All right, I'm gonna move on.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say
Oh,
this, Joey Matthews would really have to shut the fuck up and keep his nose where it shouldn't belong before it gets shattered again. Freak, you know about it.
boy.
So
All right.
we're not going to
So,
talk about this anymore.
number 41. Number 41. You guys ready for this? This one, I think, they might not be a great tag team, but I don't think they should be 41 because they did have a pretty successful career with the AWA, WWF, and WCW. The Nasty Boys.
I think they should be a little bit higher on that list, if you ask me.
I think they should be ranked way better than 41.
Yeah, I'd say like 30s. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's go through the rest of the list before we decide where somebody like the Nasty Boys should land.
Yeah.
This one, I wanted to puke when I saw this one. Rated RKO.
I thought you were going to say LOD 2000 with Draj, but yeah, that's even worse.
That's probably like in the top 10.
Freak, what do you got? Okay.
Can you hear me?
You didn't say shit.
Oh, my phone's fucking up. All right. Can you hear me? All right. Yeah. Raider KO.
Oh, you do really.
Raider KO. I mean, they were only around for like a few months. They really didn't do much. They had good chemistry, but that's about it. They were just together for a storyline. That to me doesn't really count as a tag team, like a long-running tag team.
39. Paul London, Brian Kendrick.
Oh. All time?
I like it.
Right,
I like them.
I would crack a smile on that, but I don't want the boss to fire me.
All right. So 38. I love this team. Right? And they're somewhat modern too. So, DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were great. And when they feuded against each other, it's fucking phenomenal.
Yep. Yeah.
The last year, I can't stand Johnny Gargano, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. I think they should be a little up there. Maybe in the top 20s, 25 and below, I think. Maybe.
37. The world's greatest tag team.
That's contradictive.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
It's contradictive. They put the world's greatest tag team.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
All right, I see what you did there. I didn't really care. Like I love Charlie Haas and the other guy, Shelton Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that 37, that's weird. A weird number for them. Of course, I wasn't really watching much at that time period, but I mean, tag team at that time period, there wasn't a whole lot of tag team. What did I just say? At that time period, there wasn't a whole lot of tag teams to begin with, what's his face? Vince, that guy. He didn't really care for tag team wrestling, but he just kind of had some tag teams.
They had some good Ring of Honor stuff, though.
Yeah, you're right.
But you figure with the world's greatest tag team, they were on the SmackDown brand, and back at that time, Paul Heyman was practically in control. So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it was all Vince's idea. I mean, obviously Vince was maybe not in favor of it, but Paul somehow managed to keep them around for that short period of time before it ended up, splitting them up.
I actually really liked. I actually preferred Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar in OVW, but and I remember them as Team Angle more than World's Greatest Tag Team. But
I guess you're right.
Yeah, true. What's next?
36. Money Inc.
Wait, IRS and DiBiase, right?
Yeah. I love Ted DiBiase. I love Mike Rotunda, IRS. what did they hold the tag titles? 2 times?
Yeah.
They
was
really
small.
weren't. Yeah, they weren't but they weren't together that long, right? Would you say that they? I
No,
mean, to constitute being held.
I mean, they were practically together until Ted DiBiase's retirement after SummerSlam '93.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I think that's around. Didn't they? When did they? Let's look this up. When did they start tagging together?
Oh, I want to say around probably like
91.
91.
I don't know
Maybe
about that. Let's just
Nine-
look this. Let's look this. Wrong. February 1992
Yeah.
to August 1993. So,
A year.
and a half. Year and a half, probably. Probably, right? And they held the WWF Tag Team titles twice. Wait, hold on. 3 times. They held the tag team titles 3 times in a year and a half. Like, come on now. All those title changes that don't that happen that often. That's just annoying as fuck. All right, let's see. 35. This should not even be on the list. And honestly, it took me a little while to think of what the fuck this was. Jericho.
oh my god.
Shit.
Yeah,
Common.
exactly.
Chris Jericho said that was his favorite tag team partner.
Yep. On his podcast.
How long was it? How long was it? That's bizarre, but whatever.
I think they're most known for the WrestleMania match with at WrestleMania 26. I think against who were they against? Morrison and R-Truth.
Christ, that's not
Yeah.
a show right there. 34 natural disasters.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
All right.
I can
get
get down
behind
with that.
Yeah.
All right. But we have to basically drop a shit for the next one, number 33, the Street Profits.
Go to the next one.
Okay, that's it.
Alexa.
I really want to know. All right, so this is the one that I'm very confused about. Number 32. As far as I know, from my knowledge, they were just an NWA tag team in the 70s into the early 80s. A pair of brothers. One was former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Jack and Jerry Briscoe. Oh, my phone was vibrating.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my vibrator.
Come on,
Such
put that in the
bad-
drawer. Come on, couldn't wait.
So
Well,
this
you're
is
just
one of the
waiting for Owen
tag.
Hart to be brought up, aren't you?
This is. Oh, it's coming. It's coming very soon.
Oh God.
So I'm just surprised that this doesn't really make much sense for this on this list. All right. So the next one, I guess, I'm not saying that I don't like Jack and Jerry. I think they're awesome. They're amazing.
They were in the end.
They're really great. So another one, somewhat recent tag team that I actually really like a lot. Harper and Rowan.
Yeah. I enjoyed them. And they never won the titles.
They didn't? Really?
No, they never. From what I remember, they never won the titles.
Wait,
And that
hold on.
really
You said, you said Harper and Rowan?
Yeah, I don't remember them winning the titles.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on.
they did.
They were
Did
NXT they were NXT tag champions, and then WrestleMania 34 they won the SmackDown tag titles.
I was there for
Really?
that Waterfest. Yeah, that match was
Oh,
legit. All they did was
All right,
squash
I knew.
everybody.
See, I think that was about a year before I started watching wrestling again.
I do not
You guys
remember
ready?
them winning. I just.
So this tag team to me doesn't make much
what?
sense.
What's that?
Dan's going to probably start jerking off. But when they weren't together really that long, at least in WWF, but Owen and Davey Boy Smith.
Eh.
Well, you know what?
Oh, look at this.
Right.
He's got to start trying defending the reason that they're on the list now. So
they had good chemistry, and the only reason why they're on that list is obviously due to family boundaries. But I mean, not even as like tag teams, but like even as like singles competitors too. They were in the finals for the European Championship, and then you got to think about the memorable match that they had between Austin and Dude Love for the tag titles on Monday Night Raw.
I'll way into the. Right.
I liked Owen in a better tag team, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just gonna say. Well, I'm sorry. Repeat that, JJ.
I liked Owen, but in a different tag team. It
I
was
like Owen, no matter really who he was with. I mean, because
yeah,
he always,
there was no-
I mean,
he was in a
let's
tag
just say
team called Beware, and I like that tag team a lot.
yeah, he was the star of that tag team at that time. Coco was really washed up.
Was he really?
then
I didn't realize it at that
Oh
age.
god, that was probably about he had probably about 8 years past his prime. I'd have to say.
Yeah, well, I'm
Actually, you know,
10-year-old
when
watching it though, you know.
when Coco came to WWF, he was just treated like a preliminary wrestler, really. But I mean, they ignored his whole history in Mid South, being like, and then tagging with Norvell Lawson in Texas, being like this great wrestler down there. So you know, they just kind of have him like jobbing out all the time. So I didn't mind Owen with Jim Neidhart, as goofy as the outfits were, basically. You know, the new foundation.
I dug that
All right.
too. All right, next.
All
right.
This tag team right here, number 29, by the way, is what won. This tag team right here, I don't know why in this list. I'm assuming it's because they were recently both eaten by zombies. It's Miz and Morrison. We have to. Do we really have to talk about this?
Maybe like top 250. I like Miz and Morrison, but not top 50. No, fuck no. What? I like it's a guilty pleasure, right? Shut the fuck up. I like the Miz. What can I say?
Hey, I do too. I do
see?
feel that free.
Dan, you like the Miz?
It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't like. It's not that I don't like the Miz, but he is basically the jump the fucking shark, and he's become the most annoying person on television in the last year. Like really,
It's a good heel. He's
a and I'm not saying that because he's fucking supposed to be a heel. I'm saying it because he legitimately like. Never mind.
makes you want to turn the channel.
Actually, anything on that fucking television show makes me want to turn the channel. This one I'm not. I remember. Okay, I don't know why, because I don't really, never really called them by this name personally. The Bar. I thought this was a great fucking tag team. I thought they were a great tag team together.
Yeah.
And I was quite upset. I thought I thought it was quite upset when they split them up and put them on two different brands when they did that the brand split last year, the draft. Because I think they just had so much more to do as a tag team, because they're just, I never really got sick of them. I was never necessarily, for the first time I saw Sheamus, I fucking hated him legitimately. I thought he was the most annoying, and for about a good year. And it wasn't until he teamed up with Cesaro that I started to appreciate that this guy is actually pretty decent. You know, I like Sheamus now. It's just that they stick him in stupid storylines sometimes. You know what I mean? And that's what made me hate him. So that's pretty much that right there with that one. That was number 28. I'd like them to get there together again. This tag team, too modern. Doesn't really make much sense to me. It's another Kane and X-Pac type deal, but Team Hell No.
Ah, God.
Okay, see.
Come on, really? You put the head shrinkers below this Team Hell No.
Yeah.
God, fuck me. Whatever.
I think it gets worse because we're approaching. That was 27. We're approaching 26. I think it might get worse. I think.
Run down.
Oh no, it definitely gets worse. It definitely gets worse because they're number one. So I mean, definitely. All right, so you ready? 26. I'm not really sure. Like they were World Tag Team Champions. They won the titles at the very first WrestleMania. I like them as a tag team, but they are pretty much just preliminary guys, like tag team as a tag team, like kind of both of them passed ponds a little bit at this, other than after the tag title one, Nikolai and the Iron Sheik. I like them both, and I just think that they were used as,
Filler.
I preferred Sheik as a singles competitor. He was one of the top heels of the '80s.
I think he was a fantastic wrestler. I like Nikolai too, but he's just like a powerhouse. But I'm sorry to cut you off, Dan, but you get what I'm saying here? That's just bizarre.
They're filler.
I mean, they're better than Team Hell No.
Okay.
I agree.
Actually, I can name probably 8 tag teams that they're better on off this list already. So, $25. You ready? We're doing our last 25.
All right.
Los Guerreros.
Yeah.
They could have been a little bit higher, but yeah. I would say
at number 25. I think that's a pretty good spot. I mean, the top 25, and I mean,
damn impressive. I'm surprised they made the list.
Yeah, I mean, we could, if we have enough time, we'll talk about maybe tag teams that should have been on this list. If we got time. So 24, the APA.
Oh, I thought they'd be higher.
Yeah.
They really
If we're
pushed them.
talking WWE's continuity, I figured they'd be higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they really just suck the
I'm
attitude.
not really a fan.
I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. Nobody else got it. All right. This one I'm surprised it's. I mean, maybe because it's not. It's another '70s tag team, the Blackjacks.
All right.
Well, thank God it ain't the new Blackjacks, but
They put him in the Hall of Fame in 2009, right?
2000.
I mean,
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Blackjacks they're a good tag team.
I can do that.
I mean, very old school, as both Blackjacks came from, 2 organizations, and they basically just put them together because they had the same name. But no, they were a good tag team at that time. So they held the titles for a lengthy time.
Yeah. Freak, you ready?
oh, I'm ready.
I'm gonna say that the next 3 just count as factions.
No,
The Shield.
Oh God.
that's not a tag. Well, why would they put them as the #1 faction of all time? But then they put them. Remember they did that? They put them as the #1 faction of all time. But then they're on this list as whatever the hell number that was.
There's a
19.
faction list. There's a faction list that they did for the Peacock or for
WWE. Yeah, they put Shield as #1.
that's
But,
So why would they put him as number 19 or whatever for this list? That makes no sense. They're
22.
fucking morons.
that doesn't make any sense because how are they the best faction of all time? It's just
Wow.
proof. I was discussing this with a friend earlier. It's just like modern WWE. They always push the modern stuff in the top lists. It doesn't make sense. There's no fucking greater faction than the 4 Horsemen. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Damn straight. Best faction in the world, Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you, Rick. I'm fucking with you, Rick. I saw an opening and I took it.
Anyways, I don't know if they're doing this as the two guys that did the reunited shit or union. It's just sort of that way, or the whole group as a whole, but D-Generation X.
Probably is the two.
You might as well just put the New Age Outlaws. Why the fuck would you just include DX?
Exactly.
I don't even know where the hell the New Age out. Oh, okay. All right, we'll get there.
I mean, unless you're just talking Shawn and Triple H, but you know,
Yeah, but they were old by that time.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, unless you're talking about the first incarnation, but I mean,
the Undisputed Era at number 20. The faction.
That's okay.
This one, I think, I kind of agree with number 19. Soul Patrol. Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson.
All right.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yeah, I think it's a great tag team.
That's a very forgotten one, unfortunately.
This one, I am surprised that they made it this high onto the list, considering their age of a tag team. Mr. Fuji and Toru Tanaka.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they gave him that kind of recognition. Cool. All right. Yeah, I agree with that one. So this one, oh my gosh. So personally, I mean, I know they did win the World Tag Team titles and WWF, but I don't think it was really all that great of a run. I think their NWA, WCW, and New Japan run were far better. Rick and Scott Steiner.
Oh man, that's like one of the greatest tag teams.
Yeah, I think that they should be much higher. Like,
that's a good spot. That really is. Yeah. That's a really good spot. But honestly, their WWF run was kind of just like,
yeah.
They were only there for like a year, and the original plans were to just have Scott come in. There were no plans to have the Steiner brothers in the WWF. They wanted Scott.
Scott was that. I don't really. I mean, I was always a Rick Steiner fan. I think he's got that killer clothesline. He always looked like he was about to take your head off.
Yeah.
Well, I think between that and the Steiner screwdriver, it's like yikes. That used to make me cringe. But I mean, them in the WWF though, it was kind of mediocre compared to their WCW, to the WCW run and New Japan run.
Mm-hmm. What's next?
I don't even know why this is on the list. Let's be serious here. You ready? The Rock and Sock Connection. Another thing that's just there for
entertainment value.
Yeah.
It is. It's entertainment value. They're only remembered for their skits. They're not really remembered for, oh, yeah, they won the tag team championships. All right, cool. But no, they were just funny. That's all it was. And what the hell made that tag team so different from Mick Foley? What? Some blue joggers? Oh, boy, you switched out your joggers. You finally decided to wash them, huh? Like, okay, Like,
the next one just is worse.
Well, the next one's actually awesome.
Okay.
The Wild Samoans.
All right. I can dig it.
Yeah. I mean, considering the history. There's one that I'm really confused it's not on here, and I'm looking, but discuss that when we get to it.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting.
The Rockers at number 14.
I thought they'd be higher.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see the rest of the list on here.
Well, I
Rockers,
figured in WWE standards, the Rockers would be. Although Marty Jannetty did kill somebody a few months ago, so
honestly, I
don't know.
I'm surprised they're even high on that list. I would have expected them to be like a little bit lower on the list. I wouldn't really necessarily put them at that spot. I mean, Their tag team
And that's-
championship, their tag team championship one wasn't even broadcasted. So,
Yeah. What's
The
next?
next one is which was basically put together for storyline purposes only. The Mega Powers.
I get that one though.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one was a very important storyline.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right.
And they didn't tag up all that often. Let's
No,
be
they
serious
didn't,
here.
but that was a very big storyline at the time. I don't
Yeah.
think it should be that high, but I think it deserves to be on the list somewhere. Maybe up.
I agree.
Like,
I agree with you. I saw that as it happened. I loved it as a kid. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I mean, as a kid, I did, but as an adult, not so much. Number 12. I like this tag team. The Valiant brothers. From what's his name? Johnny and Jimmy.
Oh, we talking Jimmy, huh? Okay.
I'm glad that they're on the list. So
I dig it.
yeah. Number 11. We're getting into the top 10, but number 11 before we get there. Number 11 before we get there. You ready? I'd like to swap this out with another tag. Number 11 is Demolition.
Yes. At least I'm happy they made the list. I thought they were not gonna make it, and I would have threw a fucking fit.
no, they should be higher. No, that's bullshit.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly. Yeah,
I
felt
think
that way
that
too.
I think you should. I think they absolutely should too, considering that they held the tag team titles as long as they did.
They
They're
should
my
be.
favorite.
They were and they held that record for many, 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 many years.
They're number
It
2.
wasn't until
New Days number 1, but Demolition is number 2. Like,
stop
but
saying New Day is number 1. All right, starting.
I love Demolition. You all know that.
And number 10, we are at the top 10. Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldogs.
How the fuck is that not higher?
They were there for quite a while. They held the tag team titles for a good period, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are you drinking diet soda?
Yeah,
It's pop, not soda. Fucking piece
it's
of-
soda, you prick. It's soda.
No, it's pop.
Don't get your Chicago
People
shit
from
out of here.
the Midwest, people from the Midwest. I don't even know why I hired somebody from the Midwest if they're gonna not call it things right.
No, pop, not soda.
It's
All right.
soda.
Whatever. All right,
You
next.
ready for this next one? Which also really wasn't a tag team. Hey, I guess they are, but not really. The Brothers of Destruction.
You're fucking kidding me. Next.
That was more so storyline stuff.
Maybe like top, maybe in the 50s. Honestly, if you want to put it there, maybe in the 50s. Hell no, not top 10.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
This next one. Oh, go ahead.
It's just the names that are in the team. That's it. Like, how many memorable matches have they had? Like, really memorable ones for good reasons.
That's what this should be based on.
Yeah.
Not the match they had with Rob.
I think they're going on with the popularity of people that are in the tag,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
is, Kane is still pretty much an ambassador for the company. He's still pretty relevant, being a mayor wherever the fuck he is, and the Undertaker's the Undertaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for number 8?
Yep.
Not with your tone, no.
Yeah.
Just wait till we get to number 7, freak. Number 8, the New Age Outlaws.
Maybe top 30s.
No, I'm going to say, while I am not the world's biggest Brian Armstrong fan, I do love his family. Just, I can see, I do like Billy Gunn a whole lot. I mean, I think
Top
they're great.
Maybe top
Yeah, probably
25.
top 20.
They were over. Like, we're over.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. They were over.
And they held the tag titles quite a bit and such. So They were pretty enjoyable.
Mm.
Okay, so
They're not.
we bring up the Smoking Guns and the New Age Outlaws.
So what's your point? I'm missing the point here.
Oh no, I'm saying like they bring up the New Age Outlaws and the Smoking Guns, but where the fuck is Billy and Chuck on this list?
Oh, God.
Like I
They're
said,
number
we can
two.
bring up if we have time. We will. Anyways, wait till we get to 7. Number 7. Jimmy and Jey Uso.
I mean, they're definitely one of the best modern day tag teams. I mean, within the past decade.
The 50 of all time. 50 of all time. We're talking about. We're talking about 50 of all time.
All right, but I mean,
Oh, I get what you're saying. I
We're
got
getting
what you're
thrown off
saying.
YouTube tonight.
Oh,
Number 6. I cannot believe these guys are number 6. Let's be fucking serious. You ready?
I'll do it.
Out of the tag teams that are left, okay, I'd have to say that these guys are number 1. But for some reason, they're number 6 because WWE always likes to recognize their success over another company's success. Is that correct?
Yes.
If a wrestler had more success in another company, even though they came over and still had some pretty good success, it was undeniable to not give them the success because of who they were. Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom, aka.
oh, that should be number 1. Fuck the
Number
New Day.
1. You
That should be.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a slap in the fucking face.
That's number 1.
Has anybody else noticed that Dan's frozen?
Yes,
Or
he
just
is.
Oh, okay.
This is cold on the inside.
Damn.
Not bad.
Jeez.
All right.
Got dark.
I don't agree with this one, but the hell. Number 5. We're in the top 5 now. Dan
Oh,
left.
great.
The Dudley Boys.
That's fine. I would say they're top 5.
JJ.
I hate Bubba Ray Dudley, but I agree that they deserve to be up there. Can't stand Bubba
I don't
Ray
think they're
Dudley.
nearly as great as they. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't think, because I don't see it from Devon, but I don't think they're nearly as great as Bubba Ray makes them out to be.
No, I don't. I don't.
Because Bubba Ray makes them out there like Bubba Ray makes them look like talks about themselves like they're the fucking Briscos or they're the fucking LOD or they're Tully and Arn or
Personally, I prefer Demolition over the Dudleys. So, don't get me wrong, Dudleys were over. You know, yeah, they had the crowd in the palm of their fucking hands, but
I guess. All right, we got 4 more.
I
Go
have
ahead.
4 more in my head that I think that are left. So that means one of them aren't on the list. So I'm interested now. Which one of mine is not on the list?
Well, we got a little while longer to go, so let's try to get this.
all right.
Number 4, Edge and Christian.
Okay. I figured that was one, yeah.
Yeah, because they love themselves some Edge and Christian. Number 3, I'm surprised out of the others that are listed here. Then I'm surprised if they weren't already. I'm surprised they weren't already mentioned, knowing the history of the fucking list already. But the Hart Foundation.
All right. Oh, they should have been number 2.
You guys, besides, we already know what number 1 is, the New Day.
Yeah.
Can you guys figure out what number 2 is? Anybody want to guess? Before
Yeah, Hardy.
The Hardy Boys.
I mean, it sucks because there's a few that I just can think of, but I think the Hardys is going to be next.
Yeah, and then the New Day, which I think the New Day are corny AF. But
I
Yeah.
hate the New Day.
I'm not a fan. I'm not saying that them as individuals and them as wrestlers. It's the gimmick that I can't stand. I
They
think
put on some matches. That match with it was a Hell in a Cell with the New Day versus the Usos. It's at SummerSlam like a couple years ago. That was pretty fucking vicious.
Big E's going to be a big single star. Kofi was a really good wrestler. The other one was what's his name? Austin Creed or whatever his name. Xavier Woods, whatever they call him now. Yeah,
Big E should have been a star a long time ago. He should have been. Big E should have been a star like 5 years ago. But
so I'm looking at the list and I'm just annoyed as fuck because there's one tag team. If they're recognizing a tag team like the Briscos,
did they not include Rock and Roll Express?
That's fucked up. I didn't hear
I was thinking Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express are the two that they were missing.
Well, listen to this because they included a couple tag teams there. Were not WWF tag teams. Okay, and let me mention those real quick. I'm gonna go through this. All right. So let's see. It was what did you guys say?
No Rock and Roll Express.
The Briscos were one. They weren't a WWF tag team. Let's see what else here was recognized. The Blackjacks did compete.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. You forgot JJ's favorite tag team. Hold on.
Whoa.
Oh, come on. You can't forget Rick Steiner and Judy Bagwell.
So
no, I like
Boston Scorpio. Okay, so they included that is very, 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 very bizarre that they included the Briscos as a top tag team for this company. It looks, I'm guessing here that's the only one here. Skimming through the list. So I'm just very confused as to how this, and the Rock and Roll Express are a fantastic tag team. The Midnight Express are a fantastic tag team, multiple versions, but apparently, is this a WWE list? They're just including a tag.
What about the Rougeau brothers?
They're not on the list. My favorite tag team in the entire world is not on the list, Tully and Arn. And they were former world tag team champions in the WWF as well.
You're in WWF.
Yep. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, this list is shit. It doesn't count. It's the Peacock. This list is shit. I don't know.
It's made for the spazzes that tune in every Monday night out of boredom.
You think of one spaz in particular?
I can think of 3.
Yeah. What about the Hollywood Blondes?
Oh,
Hollywood Blondes are not included.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that this is supposed to be strictly WWE, even though some of these tag teams had more success in WWF, or excuse me, WCW, NWA, AWA.
Yeah, well,
very bizarre, very, very, very bizarre list. So, I got an idea. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Next week we come back. All 4 of us think about the next 7 days. Come back with you as the tag team. Our favorite tag team.
All right, I can do that.